Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. It is Monday the 8th of July and been a glorious weekend. And it looks as if most of us will be seeing plenty of sunshine through the course of this week, although hints of changes taking place as we head into this weekend. Now don't forget the site's kept free of charge by the adverts that are around the screen here, and by you coming back and using the charts and using the site regularly. That's what keeps us free of charge, so thanks for doing that. So the big question on everyone's lips at the moment is, how long does this fine spell of weather last? Well, we're starting to build a coherent picture from various different models now, and there are hints of westerlies trying to break into this weekend as a trough passes towards the north, but consistently it looks as if the ridge gets back into the Atlantic. So after a brief breakdown possibly this weekend, we could find things improving. Here's the breakdown just showing through on the 14th 15th on the GFS ensemble model here. The green bars there are rainfall. You just see a little bit of rainfall coming through. This is for London, but it's quite indicative of much of the country. Notice too, temperatures stay in the warm category, come off a little bit because of the northeast wind picking up, but as we get into the weekend they're picking up again before easing off into next week, but always staying generally on the warm side. And you notice here that the drier weather returns as well into next week as that ridge builds back in, and that's a very believable pattern of weather. Nothing extreme in there, just looks as if that's the way things are going to be shaping up, and certainly the natural pattern and the natural cycle of the weather and the evolution of conditions would lend itself to this particular pattern. And that pattern lends itself to dry weather. This is the total rainfall predicted by the GFS model up to the close of play on Monday evening. You can see virtually no rainfall across most of England and Wales. Yes, it's trying to bring some across here in Northern Ireland and into the far north of England and also into Scotland. Perhaps one or two showers elsewhere, but they're really very isolated. And generally it's up here that the model predicting most rain. But I do think that as we go through the weekend with that front moving south, these little bits and pieces of rain are entirely possible, just as a few spots, not much more than that. So the story really starts from Friday. Going to be dry and warm up until then. Some low cloud on the eastern coast, but essentially dry and warm. Friday sees high pressure centred across the country, but this is the front that's coming in. Now it's associated with a trough, which you can see here. This is for midday on Friday, and the trough is here. It's this pattern in the coloured contours here. This is a shortwave trough associated with the cold front, and the cold front itself is lying somewhere through here at that time. So you see the trough just catching up to the back of the cold front. That front's moved southwards during Saturday, brings a little bit of patchy rain across more northern and central areas, just one or two showers basically, but the winds by then coming in from a north or northwesterly direction. Our trough by then is through here. Look, there's the trough line just lying through there, and the cold front is further to the south. So the trough itself is weakened, but it's passing eastwards, and it's that may just produce some showers across Scotland, perhaps the far north of England. But you notice the highs still out here and holding firm across much of the country. I will just carry on with the GFS ensemble, just seeing how it develops things. This is the chart for Sunday. Ridge of high pressure is back in, look, and you notice though that we've got this strengthening jet that's just up here. You see how close together the coloured contours are here. So the jet strengthening towards the northwest as another trough moves through. And then heading into Monday, we'll find that the jet itself is weakening, but it's through Scotland. It brings the potential for some showers or perhaps some outbreaks of rain there. For Tuesday, high pressure still in control, firmly in control. And notice again, look, the ridge starting to build back in as warm air gets pumped back northwards again. And into Wednesday too, you'll notice how we've still got the ridge out here, look, pumping air excuse me, northwards, and the high pressure established basically across most of the country, but it's always going to be northern and western Scotland staying in that flow. Similar again in towards Thursday the 18th, no change for the 19th, and no change for the 20th either. Just again, it's this northern and western part of Scotland that, given this westerly flow, could just see some outbreaks of rain from time to time, but for most areas it stays dry. And we stay that way again into the 21st. And the 22nd too. Now, just something I'll be picking up on over the next few days, and just something of interest. We've got our high pressure out here, and we've got the winds flowing around it something like so. Okay, and that's been in position for several days now. So what's happening is we've got warm air pumping northwards here, we've got colder air pumping southwards here into the Atlantic, and it's interesting then just to look at the sea surface temperature anomalies and see how that circulation works. Because this is the chart of sea surface temperature anomalies taken on the 4th of July this year, and I'm just going to zoom in to the area around the British Isles. There we go. Now, our ridge, our high, was down here, and our warm air is pumping northwards here, and then the colder air was going down like this. And you can see how, look, this mass of warm water here, this tongue of warm water, is being pumped northeastwards with those warm southwesterly winds. And as these areas of the Atlantic warm all the time, so these sea surface temperatures are warming too. But then look, we then get the reverse happening, where colder air is dragged back down from the north, and we find this cold pool here to the western shores of the UK and down into the west of Portugal, going down through Madeira and into the Canary Isles. So you can see that complete circulation pattern at work there, and that has a direct impact on our weather. We'll look at that more in detail over the coming days, but it was just something I wanted to highlight to you for now. But for now, I'll leave you with that. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net, and remember, we're kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. It's by you coming back and using the site that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that, have a great day, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.